Hey guys, how's everybody? I hope everybody said well. Today I'm going to be, boy, I'm right in shadow, aren't I? Come on. I'll say what I always say. The dog chooses the walk. He walks me, I don't walk him. Anyway, today we're up in the beautiful Mesa area of Santa Monica slash Pacific Palisades. I really love it up here, and I've loved it up here for decades. It's 5 minutes from the ocean. It's 5 minutes off PCH, the Coast Highway, yet it feels like you're up in the mountains. I mean, we are slightly elevated here. And there is a creek called Rustic Creek that runs through between the homes, but it really feels like you're up in the mountains. Look at that behind me. And at the end of the street that you're seeing now, uh, there's a little bridge and a path, and it ends on Sunset Boulevard. So we're kind of between PCH right now and Sunset Boulevard. And at the end of the path where Sunset Boulevard is, I've done a vlog on that as well, actually two, and that's where Dennis Wilson, the Beach Boys drummer, lived in 1968, where Charlie Manson and his family deposited themselves on Dennis's doorstep one day and just stayed until Dennis finally had to abandon the property when the lease ran out, and hoping that the landlord would kick the Manson family out, which eventually they kind of did, with the help of a lawyer as well. Anyway, today we're going to see the home of Jamie Lee Curtis and Christopher Guest, her husband. I have met both of them at an art gallery show. I believe I was showing art in that particular show. It's a group here in Los Angeles where they have several galleries in one location, and Chris and Jamie Lee were there, and I tried to joke and get their attention. I don't know if I did. I might have, but I might not have. We'll never know. It was a kind of a cold, rainy night that night. There was a lot of puddles around, and I suggested using a rowboat to get to the next set of galleries. I thought it was funny. I don't know. I guess they didn't think it was that funny, or they don't want to acknowledge it because maybe I'd be a fan. God forbid. I don't ask for autographs, though. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about Jamie Lee and Chris. Mainly we want to talk about Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, I just read recently Tony Curtis's definitely last autobiography. I don't know if he had other autobiographies, but he definitely wrote one in the last, I'd say, 5 years of his life, or at least it was published in the last 5 years of his life. And in the book, he says that he wanted to restore his relationship with his daughter, Jamie, and he was obviously regretful of some of the things that happened, but also didn't view himself as kind of the real bad guy that Jamie did. Obviously, I don't know her personally other than that one meeting, but it does seem that she kind of has always publicly harbored a lot of resentment against the late great Bernie Schwartz, also known as Tony Curtis, as calling him an absent father and so on and so forth. But anyway, and bad breakup between his parents, but there was infidelity on both sides, according to Tony Curtis, the late Tony Curtis. Anyway, so with that in mind, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis is the daughter of Janet Leigh, actress, and Tony Curtis, late great iconic actor. Tony being from New York, very Jewish, from Hungarian parents and family, well aware of anti-Semitism, grew up during the Depression. Janet Leigh Christian, hailing from, I think, the Midwest, but I may be wrong on that one. So very different as they could be. And Jamie also has a sister named Kelly. Now, what's very interesting is the house I'm going to show you, the house of Chris Guest and Jamie Lee. Kelly's also on title, so I don't know what that's all about. I don't know whether that's sort of, to hide the title of her sister and her brother-in-law, or they're all three on title. But it appears that they're all on title. Anyway, but that's not confirmed. They've done, actually, I don't know whether it's HGTV, I didn't read the source, but Jamie Lee Curtis has done, these get to know Jamie and her beautiful home type things somewhere. So, the interior and parts of the exterior of the home are there, although, as we'll see coming up to it, it's blocked at least partially by a wall, but that's understandable. I just love this mesa area. See what I mean? It's very rustic. It's even called Rustic Canyon. This is 5 minutes, actually. All right, maybe 7 minutes, but 5 or 7 minutes up from PCH off a street called Entrada, entrance. So it's very beautiful here. Air is fresh and clean, and here comes the guy walking down the street. Maybe he'll agree with us. All right, so let's talk about Jamie Lee, or Jamie as Tony Curtis liked to refer to her. And I'm going to refer to a few notes. Come here, you. Although I know some things too. She was born obviously in Los Angeles, being the daughter of a very famous Hollywood couple. Born in Santa Monica, actually here in Santa Monica, probably at Santa Monica Hospital. Went to Harvard Westlake School, went to Beverly Hills High School, went to University, let me see what it's actually called. I guess University of Stockton, up in Stockton, California, which I believe is where her mother Janet Lee went. She went to study law, Jamie Lee did, but was only there a month because she dropped out, or a semester, because she dropped out to pursue acting. The first film she did was Halloween. Now I've done a vlog on the home where Halloween was filmed on a shoestring budget, John Carpenter film, and that was the first film. It's a huge hit, probably the biggest independent film of all time, at least at that time. And Jamie Lee ended up doing, I think, 5 Halloween films, and made a lot of money off them, and became known, that and other films, as the Scream Queen. There's some people up ahead near our home, looking at our target home, looking at a house for sale. We're going to pause for a minute, be right back. Okay, so Jamie Lee also kind of solidified her reputation as a Scream Queen in movies like The Fog, which is also with John Carpenter, his next film, Terror Train, and others. Later, though, I guess beginning probably in 1983, she kind of got off the horror movie thing and became more of a serious or comedic actress. Films like a huge film, Trading Places, with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy in '83, Fish Called Wanda, Blue Steel, True Lies, which is a great film with Arnold, very interesting story. And, all right. She said she was going to retire in 2006, but of course that was short-lived, as it often is with people in her profession. She's done a number of films since, but it's not necessarily her main vocation now. Come here, you. Coming up to the house, we got to stay on this side of the street. Dog says, why the hell are we in the middle of the street? She's adopted 2 kids with her husband, Christopher Guest, and she's written several children's books as well. She's heavily involved in the Democratic Party, in politics, and what else did I want to say? Oh, well, regarding Christopher Guest. Oh, well, here's the house. Let me verify it, and I'll be back to you. Sorry, always want to pause. I can't seem to pause. All right, well, always seems to happen that whenever I'm showing a home, we're shooting right into the sun. So here's the home. They've got cameras and a gate. Here's the home. I really apologize that it's right into the sun again. Like I say, it always seems to be this way, though. Let's get over here a little bit. A lot of traffic coming down here, too, awfully fast. Let's let them go by. There's a good shot. Love the ivy. I think that's the best we're going to do, folks. There's some floodlights, camera, lemon trees. Let's walk along the lemon tree. Come here, you. Let's walk among the lemon trees just for a second. There's a beautiful house across the way here, too. The gate that goes all the way up. Come on. So you see, it's not a large Hollywood mansion. It's not even in Hollywood. It's in Santa Monica. But it's an older home that's in a very, very pretty part of town. Oh, they even put out a bowl for water. Look at that. The guests put out a bowl for water for dogs to drink. Okay. All right, let's go back. I think that's all we're going to see. Oh, I was going to say that in 1984, Jamie Lee said, told her friend that she saw Christopher Guest's picture on the cover. I don't know if it was on the cover. I don't remember. It was on Rolling Stone magazine. They were advertising This is Spinal Tap. First time I'd seen Chris Guest, and she said, "Well, that guy." She told her friend, "That's the guy I'm going to marry." And sure enough, 5 months later, after a quick courtship, they got married, and are married to this day. Love that upstairs area. All right, a little bit of me in the upstairs. Jamie Lee's also a recovering alcoholic and had an addiction to pain pills. Hopefully she's conquered both. Good luck for her. I hope she has. And we'll close out with a little bit of the windows to the home and just say thanks again for watching, folks. My name is Ron. If you like the channel, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button there for you. You'll be indicated as to when I post. And also, it's very important that you give me likes. I really would appreciate that because that's the only way to really give traction to the channel. All right, folks, thanks again for watching and listening, and we'll see you at the next location. Bye-bye.